Okay, so you chose a warrior now, and you're starting out in the game. So what next? Uh, I suggest going and looking at the overview that I did for this small series, and seeing what you need to do to begin with. But jumping straight into the warrior, let's look at skill points. Skill points for the warrior mostly are going to be strength and vitality, a little bit of dex to get that attack speed up. One thing you do not want to ignore is intelligence, because that's how you're going to be able to do your abilities, and that's also going to give you magic resist. Now, as you can tell, my magic resist is so fucking low. It's so super low, and that's only because I'm farming low level keys right now. When I go up to like R15, I'll take out a few topazes and put in some diamonds for magic resist. But you want to have some type of mana regeneration and a decent enough mana pool where you can do some attacks, and obviously the magic resist, because it's just like the opposite of the mage. The warrior's weak spot is going to be magical damage. What's cool about the warrior is you have different ways that you can mitigate damage, which is why also it's great to choose a warrior secondary. But let's look at the abilities of the warrior tree. When you're first starting out, you're mostly going to be using the auto attack, that little sword icon right there. Now, it's single target, doesn't cost any mana, and you when you run out of mana, you just hit it and it fills back up. When you're choosing talents at first, my suggestion is going with sweep, because you're going to need some type of AoE attack. Even though it is just a cone AoE, it's not all the way around, but it's helpful in facing a lot of enemies. Now, you will also run out of mana super quickly, so you'll do 1 or 2 sweeps, maybe 3, and then you have to switch back to auto attack. So just be aware of that. You will eventually get to a point where mana is not an issue, but for the warrior, mana is a big deal. For the archer and for the mage, definitely for the mage, it's not a big deal at all, because you get so much fucking mana from intelligence later on. But with the warrior, you're going to want to find some type of good weapon. I always say do one hand and shield. Some people like 2 hands in the beginning because you can kill stuff more quickly. It's two hand weapons are good. It's just you can get one shot pretty easily. But yeah, for the talents, you want to go ahead and open up bash so you can get down to charge. But I would really do sweep, and then you're able to get, go to sweep and then rotating shields. As I said in my other video, this is the fucking shit. Okay, this is the way that you can mitigate magical damage, really, because a lot of magical damage is coming from projectiles, and so this can block projectiles. Of course, if you get close to flame or something like that, that can be an issue with magical damage. And then obviously you're going down into stone skin and redemption. Oh my god, redemption for warriors early on before you get your mana pool up is just absolutely wonderful, because you can get that health back up and you can get your mana back up and you can just keep going. Now, beginning in the game, as you're going through, you're eventually going to want to work your way down to whirlwind. This is going to be your main talent until you get strong enough where you get your gear ready, where you get everything going, and then you can respec as you want. Obviously, I've respec to the new build that I've made, and I've dropped whirlwind. But whirlwind got me through the game because it has good damage, and it actually synergizes with things that you already pick to fill out the tree, so it works out well. And the AoE is that's always a plus, and you can move around while doing it. So it's not an attack like the auto attack or the bash where you have to sit still. You can move around whirlwind, and it's just a great leveling tool, and it's great for going through the game and dealing decent damage. Now, when you go to your secondary, there I'm an archer right now for my secondary because of my build. And again, this is an in-game build. You cannot look at my build or other builds that have reached 1500, have beaten crawl, I've gone through all this stuff and are at in-game stuff. You can't build your character around that because, as I said in my other videos, the beginning of the game is so different than the end of the game. So what I suggest doing is actually being a mage warrior. Now this is a popular in-game build, especially for dev blow builds. But with the mage warrior, it's great because you don't have to open up anything on this tree. You don't have to like put points into shit that you don't need. You can go straight to magic shield and straight to teleport. Teleport, you need to have teleport on every character. Okay, teleport is the best and by far the best movement ability. It can get you up levels. Like in the prison, there's these places where you have to climb stairs. You can just teleport straight up. And in Arcane Passage, you can go from platform to platform. It's just, and if you get stuck, you can just teleport out of there and you can just keep going. So it is one of the best abilities all around. But magic shield is great because that's going to also help mitigate magical damage as well as physical damage. It's a percentage of damage that's taken off through your mana. Now your mana will start taking hits because of this. So again, you got to get that intelligence up or some type of bigger mana pool or mana regen. But these are the two. I would definitely suggest going mage, warrior mage at the beginning to go level through the game and invest in magic shield and teleport. And if you want to invest into freeze aura, this is a talent set off by itself as well, just like shield and teleport. This is good for slowing things down, and it's really kind of for archers or mages, but it's good if you got shit coming after you, you need to break things off, and it'll slow things down. It's good for arena as well and lets you pick things off one by one. With dev blow build, which is you're not even thinking about dev blow build right now. You don't because that is just way too end game. I mean that's past end game. That's like end of the end game build. But with that, they usually go with multi-missile and magic orbit, simply because all that can proc dev blow. But as you're starting out, magic shield and teleport, and if you want, you can get frozen aura. And these talents, if you decide that you want to do like a single target build like I did, then you can always go for double attack instead of whirlwind. But really, honestly, starting out, whirlwind's going to be the best. So that's kind of the warrior breakdown when you start out. Choose warrior mage, fill out your defenses, and you're going to be relying on auto attack a lot, so just remember that until you get like whirlwind and get a bigger mana pool. And once you get magic shield up and you get your stone skin and rotating shields, you will be very, very difficult to kill. So if you have any questions about this, let me know as always, and I will do my best to answer them. Y'all have a good one.